It's an honor and privilege to be in front of you here at Monte Park. My name is Chris Barrera, and I'm running for Salinas mayor. A little bit about me, I'm 56 years old. I'm a lifelong resident of Salinas. I was born in Memorial Hospital in 1968. And I was born here, my parents were born here, my kids were born here, my grandkids were born here. So I'm deeply rooted in Salinas. It's so bad that my dad always used to tell me, there's a whole other part of the world outside of Salinas, but I love Salinas. And they always want to take me on vacation, but sometimes I don't want to go because I might miss something, right? and so by day, I'm a real estate agent. I work for Windermere Valley Properties. I'm also a president of a civil rights organization. I'm an ELK member, Rotarian, serve on a lot of boards and commissions. I'm the chair of Measure G in Salinas, and I'm also on Measure X. Let's see, what else do I do? Regarding our civil rights organization, a lot of people call us for help regarding civil rights, domestic violence, health, housing, law enforcement issues. The list goes on and on and on. And we do our best to help, use our resources. We have a very good relationship with the police department, sheriff's department, the district attorney's office. We have a lot of resources, and so when we meet people that need help, they usually come to my office and sit down and listen to them. Remember, there's always two sides to every story. Being that we do have a good relationship with the police department, we can give them a call and get to the door and talk to whoever we need to talk to. If the story's credible, then sometimes we get the attorneys for them, either pro bono. They can work on contingencies, or they get a deal on their representation. So I'm very proud of that. Our civil rights group is very well known for our scholarship program. This year we gave out 76 scholarships worth $45,000 to all 9 high schools here in Salinas. And so we have the black and white ball, we have a wine raffle, sometimes we get selected to sell fireworks. We stay busy constantly. In fact, our black and white ball is going to be this October 19th, just in a couple of weeks, at Hartnell College. So that's another great event that we do for our community. You asked me, why are you running for mayor? And so, like I said, I love Salinas, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for Salinas. I love the residents, I love our businesses, I love Salinas. A lot of people don't understand that. And so I want to make sure that residents have the means to get the resources of Salinas, and also small businesses too, and big business. But Salinas's backbone is small business. And when we're talking about small business, we're also talking about the permit center, the planning department, the code enforcement. All of that needs to change. Thank you, Jose. Change for the better. For the better, because right now Salinas does not fulfill their responsibilities to the neighborhood. Hey, so Salinas can. We all could use some improvement, right? All of us, and that's another reason that I am running. I'm also running for my family. I'm running, for my dad. My dad passed away in 2019. He was a retired deputy sheriff. Besides being deeply rooted in Salinas, I'm deeply rooted in law enforcement. My dad was a retired deputy sheriff. My stepdad used to be the assistant police chief in Salinas under Mr. Ortega. And my mom worked at City Hall and at the police department. So when it comes to public safety, I am very concerned because right now we're low on officers, but we can only go up. We can only go up, and I'm very excited on whoever is going to be our next police chief. He's out there somewhere, and so with the police department, I was very close to Adele Frese. She was one of our ex-police chiefs, and also Roberto Felice. Very close. Go on ride-alongs all the time. Used to just be able to pick up the phone and get in there and just sometimes have a cup of coffee, just talk Salinas. And so now we're waiting for the new chief to be announced, and I'll be doing the same thing with them. Certain things on my platform, public safety. You know, like I announced, we're down to a certain number of officers. We're funded for in the mid 150s. Right now we're at 130. You know, so the money's there. The position is funded. You know, at this time, the national rhetoric about, you know, being an officer. You know, it's a dangerous job. It deserves more pay. It deserves be fully staffed. It deserves a lot of things, right? And so we also need some traffic patrols, motorcycle officers. Right now we only have one motorcycle officer for the whole city. You know, all these sideshows, all these racers, all these cars with all the loud mufflers. I'm sick and tired of it. And another thing I'm sick and tired of little 3-year-old boys being dragged down East South Street. That really gets on, you know, upsets me. And when gentlemen get killed right in front of the old Monte Mart or North Main, it's all over the place. And something needs to be done about it. You know, right now we have to think outside the box and get creative. So public safety is number one. Infrastructure, streets, sidewalks, and potholes. Don't kid yourself. This didn't happen overnight. It's been brewing for decades and decades and decades and decades. And the city got to the point where it was an embarrassment. My dad passed away in 2019, and I had family members fly into Salinas, and first thing they said was, "God, Chris, the city has horrible roads." And I'm like, yes, I'm the chair of Measure G. And for those of you that don't, what the heck's Measure G? Measure G represents $30 million that comes into the city every year for public safety, infrastructure, and programs for kids and seniors. Thank you. Thank you. And so not until recently, we got a list of everybody that the money goes to, right? Thank goodness for ARPA, because when we went through COVID, Salinas got about $50 million in ARPA funds. So that money is what is being used to fix all of the streets all over Salinas. You know, besides the last 3 years, the infrastructure has just been ignored. It has not been a priority. You know what's been a priority for decades and decades and decades? Old Town. That one little strip. You know, sometimes I'm not politically correct, but I call it as I see it. You know, and so that's the honest truth. Old Town used to be a 2-laner, and then they changed it back to 1, and then they changed it back to 2. And so when they changed it back to 2 this past time, and trust me, Old Town's beautiful here in Salinas now. I mean, it's jumping in Old Town. You know, it's vibrant. A little too many vacancies, but you go there on the weekends. Oh my God, you can't find parking. You know, but when they started the remodel of Old Town, they used $20 million of Measure X funds. Now, for those of you wondering what the heck's Measure X? Measure X is kind of like Measure G, but Measure X is countywide, and it's $600 million for the next 30 years for infrastructure. Infrastructure, think about that, infrastructure. Infrastructure doesn't mean to redo an old town. Infrastructure means streets, sidewalks, and potholes. Or disability ramps, things like that. But I tried raising my hand. I'm on the oversight committee, but I'm only one person. I think there was one other one that agreed with me. So they went ahead and did it. First day of the shutdown of COVID in 2020, guess what? Everyone's at home. The crews are in Old Town cutting down trees, just tearing everything apart. I thought that was very strange how that happened. But it happened. We have a great Old Town now, but 20 million. That 20 million should have gone to all other parts of Salinas. All other parts of Salinas. Because, eucalyptus. Quick story about eucalyptus. I'm a real estate agent, so I had a listing over on Parkway. And during that time, I was going on eucalyptus, and my God, eucalyptus, you had to literally go around all these potholes. And so Salinas has an app called Salinas Connect, and it does work because I've tried it. So there was this one good size app, and I took a picture of it, right? And so I put the little icon on the map, and then I put a little text, and then later on that day they cleared it, and I'm like, okay, and I didn't believe that it was fixed, so I jumped in my truck and I went over there. It's not fixed. So I did it again and again. I did it 3 times. On the 3rd time when I went out there, I was upset. I'll just use that word. I was upset. So eucalyptus is in 2 parts, from Alisal to Market and then Sanborn. I parked right across from the old Monte Mart, parked right there, and I just started walking, counting all the potholes. 250 potholes. Just on eucalyptus, 250. So I started taking pictures. I got 40 pictures. I upload them all with a little, it wasn't that aggressive, but it was a good little text to get their attention. And then I sent it. An hour later, Tony Barrera is calling me up and saying, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? I'm at my office, doing work." "No, did you send in a report?" And I go, "Oh yeah, for eucalyptus, 4th time. Let's see if something happens." Well, they just told me that it's going to get fixed in July of 2023. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's embarrassing because nobody has faith in the system. Nobody has faith in the government. Nobody believes anymore, right? So I go, yeah, right. They're just saying that. And then guess what? July 2023 last year came and it got fixed. So that's what happens when you're very persistent. But it shouldn't take that in order to get things done. It should take people driving around, city officials. We need to get that one done. We need to get that one done. We need to get Ryder done. We need to get El Dorado done. We need to get Capitol done. The 4 roundabouts on Riker Street. Oh my God. Talk about an embarrassment. That's on my walking path in the morning, and trucks drive like a bat out of hell down there, and they just go over the roundabouts, and so it's horrible. On Iverson, that's the street that Palma's on. My God, your truck, my truck goes out of alignment. It's just like bumping, like I'm four-wheeling. But yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. My 3rd, homelessness. Homelessness, just like infrastructure, it's been ignored forever, and it didn't happen overnight. It's not fair to the current city council right now to have to deal with all of the backlash. And how come it's not done? Well, we're not going to get out of it overnight, but we have to be patient and stay the course and keep the momentum going. Homeless, we spend. I heard this percentage earlier. 30% of the national homeless is in California. That's a crazy number, right? That's a crazy number. We waste 1.3 million here in Salinas annually on city cleanups, right? Now, when they do a cleanup, you have the police department there on standby, and then you have Smith and Enright coming in, and they're the landscapers. They're the city landscapers. I've always wondered, how come it's always Smith and Enright? Yeah, aren't there any other landscaping companies? But they must be the only ones, so that's probably why they always use them. Hint, hint. And so Smith and Enright. I'm not politically correct, right? So sorry. Smith and Enright comes in. They start throwing everything away, but that also includes homeless's glasses, medication, IDs, wallets, and so then everything's all cleaned up, right? And then everything's all cleaned up. There you go, Jose. Speeder. Yeah, everything's all cleaned up, but now the homeless person is still there, but now in a worse off position than before, because I mean he didn't even have his glasses to see correctly, and so the problem is worse now. What I think we should do is every year take that 1.3 million and invest. Salinas owns all kinds of land, all kinds of buildings. It's not rocket science. We should get an acre of land just to start off with, because I want to show some kind of improvement, progress. Get an acre of land, throw up some tiny homes, with and let them pitch up tents, but under supervision, and don't let them bring all of their personal item, all their garbage, because you have to keep it sanitary, and just go from there. And then every year invest. You got to have resources there. You have to have food there, toilets, showers, mental health, every kind of resource, right? And then afterwards, you're going to have those people that just like to live on the street. And then when that time comes, then we'll have to deal with a different idea, right? But I think it's very interesting that right now the Salinas doesn't even have a homeless committee. I mean, think about that.
Where's the money, Chris? Where's the federal funding you guys got?
Yeah. We're gonna find out.
So with all the hotels that are empty, they just bought the El Rey. That's at the end of Market. The city just bought that, which probably cost a grip. The hotels that are sitting empty, what is that, Sanborn and by the freeway?
There's one on Sanborn, Fairhaven, and Work Street.
So all these, and I did read an article.
Good night.
I don't know if that the person who bought a lot of these was an investor.
Well,
I don't know, but just why are they just sitting?
There was a group that went through California, and from what I understand, they hit about 8 different cities, and they took advantage, and then they split.
That's what I did.
Yes,
okay.
and so now they're trying to get to the bottom of that. And from what I understand, Governor Newsom had those places, or the money earmarked for homeless, units, so to speak. So that's in the making, and we're going to celebrate when it's finalized, but it's just getting to that point. Anybody have any questions so far?
A lot of them. Yeah. A lot of them.
Yes, Jose.
Yeah, what's up?
Let him have the mic.
Look behind you. I don't need a mic. I'm loud. Look behind you. The Monte Park is split in half. Right back there is the Monte Elementary School.
Mm-hmm.
That is supposed to be closed. Supposedly, Mr. Rojas not playing soccer anymore. Who's got the key to open it? We ask the city that. I ask him every 2 weeks when I go. I don't get an answer. I go to the Alice Elementary School meeting. Oh, they're in Jesse Sanchez School? At the multi-purpose room, and I asked him the same question. I asked Mr. Abbasi, if there's Mr. Rojas doing the soccer thing, who's got the contract? And who gave him the key to do it? Why is it being open? There should be nobody there right now. There's no contract according to Mr. Abbasi and the Alsal School District.
So
they're playing soccer back there.
So is that within the school property?
Yes, but they come in through the city, through the park. They should come in through the front.
Yeah,
That's my beef every time I go over there. It's my beef. Make them go through the front.
I have to say, Monte is blessed to have the advocates from Monte, like Jose, like Jody, like Eddie, like Malcolm, like Tony. I've never seen you out there, sir.
I'll live right there.
Okay.
Trust me, I do.
All right. Get involved. Get involved. Yeah. So all of these questions and concerns, and I don't know what's the big deal about locking up a gate so you get everybody out at dusk. It shouldn't be that difficult.
30 minutes before dusk.
Yes. Yeah, I don't understand. And you keep on coming and coming and coming.
So we asked for, I asked for floodlights behind the bathrooms because people stand there and gather at night. We can hear them.
We hear them.
You can see them because it's dark.
Oh, really?
You can't see anything. I think they did finally put floodlights over there on the
one
other
side, yeah.
bathroom. No floodlights here. I don't know how hard it is to order floodlights. I'm sure I could just go to the store and get them. So we're still waiting.
I can tell you. It's like that street light's still missing there for almost 2 years.
Right, I know.
Then they knocked it down.
Floodlights should not be. She put them on the other.
Nothing
bathroom.
should be
It
a
shouldn't be
non-priority
that
for a
hard.
city.
Well, no, and then
You just said the magic word, Jose, priorities.
just like the light
Priorities.
for 6 months.
Just like the flashing beacons right in front of Los Padres School.
Yes. It worked for a week.
And also the speed, what are those things called?
Traffic.
Speed meters?
The speed reader, yes.
Yeah.
When I was called out there, both speed readers in both directions were out, and the flashing beacons were out. I started making some phone calls, and then the speed readers were fixed. They're currently working, but the flashing beacons, they're still not working. And the reason I was given was because the company that the city is contracted with, they're out of stock.
Yeah.
So if you're out of stock, yeah, for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Eddie told me that it's been out for years, and so change contractors, change companies. One of my friends started looking it up, and other companies have them. So do business with that company. Let's get stuff going. Don't just ignore stuff. Yes, sir.
Mayor,
Yes.
so I've been living here for years, okay? And apparently from Jose and some other people, Monte is one of the highest tax-paying village. You go everywhere else,
Yes,
there's speed bumps, places that the cars don't even go fast. Over here, we're extremely fast. This morning, again, I walk my dog twice a day. I almost got hit again.
Yeah.
What will it take? We did so many things, so
A
many
lawsuit.
years.
A lawsuit.
You know,
Doesn't happen.
Kesa, you have to do this, Kesa, you have to do that. We made,
We've done all that.
Yeah.
we've
already
done all that.
Put all the
Nothing.
paperwork in.
Again, I almost got hit with my dog for the nth time.
Chris, right here.
What's it gonna
Crosswalk
take?
right here.
So
It's just a speed bump.
that's an embarrassment. The city's failed Monte
Yeah.
as of right now. To get speed bumps, a little, how they do things at the city, you get put on a list, right? And so you start going up there, they start putting speed bumps, you start inching up. There was a city, there was a street in Santa Rita that was number 2. They were so excited. We're next. And then the next year comes, and they're not even on the
You
list.
didn't get my point.
What was that?
You didn't get my point. My point is, we're one of the highest contributors for taxes. We can't even get the speed
I know.
bump, regardless whether we're there with what.
We have the resources.
We have
the
the
money.
resources.
The money's there.
What's it gonna
The
take?
money's
It's been
there.
years.
The money's there.
$46,000 a month we pay monthly to the city.
As a whole
Yes,
area.
'cause every-
Yeah. There's no excuse.
every-
There's no excuse. So as your mayor, I will make sure that speed bumps get installed. I will make sure. Because this is ridiculous, especially the highest property tax area, because you were the last development built, correct?
Can I ask you, Mayor?
Yes.
Somebody gets killed, maybe me. Who's going to be accountable?
I know.
No, I want to know.
We are going to pay for it. It's a lawsuit.
No,
We're going to pay through the city. Everybody's
Because we
going to pay.
tried. We tried.
You guys have gone above and beyond,
Nobody in the department listens. I want to know who's going to be accountable.
right?
They tell us to make our little map.
I don't have that answer.
all that.
I don't have that answer, but your group has done your part, and the city is not listening. For some odd reason, the city is not listening. As your mayor, I can be a pain in the butt. You know, I'm very persistent. I have a way of getting things done. So Monte will be getting their fair share, and you will have speed bumps. But this election, there's 5 seats, up for grabs. Right now the city council is doing a lot of great work. We need to keep the momentum going. We can't go backwards. We cannot go backwards.
We've been going backwards.
Not the last 3 years.
Really?
If I can
Really,
say something.
Hebron Center was torn down. They just had. It's going to be getting. They just had the groundbreaking ceremony on Saturday.
But how long does it take to build it? Because they've been trying to do the Hebron Center since I lived on Fremont Street. Hebron Center
It's going to be done. It's going to be done. And when the doors open, I'll be there with you.
Pick me up.
Yeah, I'll come pick you up.
What happened to Cesar Chavez Park?
Cesar Chavez Park. Orlando's been working on that.
What's he doing?
It's a heck of a lot better than how it used to be. It's a heck.
They put the artificial turf and then they fenced it off.
Chris, if I can.
Oh, yes.
If I can say, and I'm a resident of District 1. My brother, he teaches here at Alisal. He lives on Rosano, so I'm familiar with this area. And to your point about what City Council has done, I think it's important, and Chris hinted on it or mentioned it. A lot of change has happened in the last 3 years that had not happened before. And so when we started looking at what Hebron Center, for example, the money was allocated for it, the groundbreaking started. That is a huge accomplishment for that district. Cesar Chavez, the grassing area, we got to remember the city council approves projects, but they're not out there making sure that the project is being managed. And the problem doesn't fall with the city council. The problem falls with, we got to be critical of our department heads. We got to be critical of the people that we have in those positions.
All those old people.
I can attest. Yeah, I can attest that Orlando has fought for Cesar Chavez, and the city council, every one of those representatives is one vote. So it's important that we elect the people that, as a consensus, are going to create change and are going to first and foremost set a fire on those department heads that are way too comfortable making changes as slow as possible. This area right here, with the gate, just closing the park. If you look at our articles, at our the ordinances and what's allowed, I mean, you can't even have a bike on grass, right? And then when I was helping Chris pass out the flyers for tonight's meet and greet, and I witnessed firsthand, sir, I crossed the street with my kids at 2:40 in the afternoon, and a car just flew right by me.
Good.
I was appalled, and I mentioned it to them. It is ridiculous. When we were leaving, the school was letting out, and a flood of kids was coming. I only picture, as a mom, I picture one of those kids getting hit. But then I started thinking, who is flying by here? Is it our own residents? Are we being good neighbors to each other? Or is it somebody else? Is this a shortcut? So we gotta look also at what kind of community are we building amongst each other? And I gotta say, you guys have probably one of the best neighborhood watch programs. You have some of the loudest advocates for this community, and you deserve to be heard. And I'm with you. I mean, I'm closer to Ryder, and they have their own complaints about people using Ryder as an expressway, right? Throughout the city, we witness it. But I think it's collectively, we got to support the people that are in city council now, or the people that will go in there and say, you got to be community focused. Forget about who funded your campaign. Forget about who put you in that seat. Community first. And that's really, and we should be there. It shouldn't only be Jose up there speaking for Montebello, and it shouldn't only be one person for one neighborhood. And we gotta be there, and there's different ways of making contact with those city council, but unless we elect people like Chris, I haven't seen the other candidate for mayor visit here or be as accessible to the residents here.
No,
And that should
be on the south side.
and that should speak for who we want in there. And collectively, we have, you said 30% of, I forget what the homeless in California. Salinas, 30% of our residents in Salinas are age 18 years or younger.
Exactly.
With a majority of that 30% being the age of this young gentleman here, probably between 5 and 14. I don't know how old you are. So we gotta look out for them. The fact that people are flying by these streets when it's a public park is embarrassing for the city.
Sad.
I ain't gonna lie, they hit me on my bike. And they went off too.
Yeah, and then we penalize the kids that are on bikes, right? Like, kids want to have fun too.
I went right. Why do you think nobody rides their bike in
can't ride your bike
Salinas?
here.
You cannot
You
ride
can't.
your bike anywhere. It is so unsafe. The more, and I hate to, I know we have to put bike lanes in, but when they keep talking about putting bike lanes in, don't take our roadways to put bike
Right.
lanes in, because it's just, you're asking.
The other thing I have too with city council members, I reached out to them. Like I called Osonio, and he never returned my call.
Just put it away.
Was when I was with Cesar Chavez Park. He never called me back. Tony Barrera, I mean, he's okay. He's not 100%. He'll call me
He's gotten
back.
better, right?
He's getting better. I mean, if you want to impress me, do your job. You're getting paid. Before you were just a volunteer.
You still had to do your
I've been in city council. I've told them, now you're getting paid. Now do your job. So we need to start cleaning the house. People, if you don't want to do your job, you need to go. I'm sorry. If you can't do your job, go do something else. Señorita?
Pues, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Elizabeth Reyes y mi hija vive en este vecindario y algunos parientes también, y este vecindario es muy bonito, pero yo que camino aquí a veces he visto cosas que no me gustan. Es bien importante la seguridad, especialmente para nuestros jóvenes, porque no sé si se acordarán que para el día del Halloween pasaron un incidente aquí en el parque. Yo no quiero que este año vuelva a suceder, ¿verdad? Y que vaya a ser lastimado otros jóvenes. Así es que me gustaría que si se podría tener alguien que patrullara más este vecindario, ¿verdad? Y también quiero decirles, porque mi hija vive allá en la esquina de Montevela y Palermo, y es una intersección porque vive en la esquina muy peligrosa. Tiene dos niños, uno de 8 y una de 2 años y medio. Cuando va saliendo de reversa de su garaje, es tan peligroso que no sé cuál uno de estos días le van a golpear a ella. Debemos de cuidar este vecindario, ¿verdad? Este vecindario era muy bonito, pero ahora también como hay bastantes carros, no hay lugar donde estacionarse porque están construyendo los garajes. Yo sé que es importante que, pues, porque nuestra comunidad no tiene vivienda y la vivienda es muy cara, pero tenemos que buscar otras alternativas para tener la vivienda más económica en esta área, que no es un área como San José, sino es un área más de gente que trabaja en la agricultura. Así es que esperemos que tengamos cambios en este vecindario, que es muy nuevo en la ciudad, pero está pagando muchos taxis. Yo creo que es el vecindario que paga más taxis en todo el condado, porque yo he visto cómo mi hija me dice y me explica cuántos taxis nos está pagando. Así es que vamos cuidando a estos jóvenes, porque yo trabajo en una de las high schools por 20 años y he visto que aquí en Salinas la gente se sale porque no hay muchas cosas de recreación para ellos. Vamos cuidando a los jóvenes, que ellos son nuestro futuro de esta ciudad, de este estado y de esta nación. Así es que muchas gracias y esperemos trabajar juntos para mejorar no solo a esta área, sino toda la ciudad de Salinas, todo el estado y todo el país. Gracias.
So thank you very much for your comment. Yes, we all love our city of Salinas. We love the Monte Bay area. You have a very beautiful area, but it needs more attention. People need to slow down. What I'm pretty impressed is all these young people that are hanging out here. Because yes, you can wave. At the end of the day, it's all about you because you guys are our future leaders. And for you guys to be involved and want to ask questions and to be part of the process, that's very inspiring. Yes, Liz?
I think you were talking about having a homeless commission or committee to oversee that. I also think it's super important to have a youth committee as well. I think just how we have one of the things that city council members and the mayor gets to appoint is community residents to different commissions, whether it's parks, whether it's planning, whether it's airport. I think it's important to create something for our youth because it offers us a different perspective on public safety, on access to resources that right now we currently don't have. We advocate for them and we set programs and recreational activities for them, but we seem to just follow the same checklist. And there's no, communities evolve. And things change, so I think it's important to see the perspective, and it's super refreshing to see them here. I don't think at another meet and greet I've seen more youth than adults, so that's great. But it's representative of the residents that live here, right? You have families with children, a lot of children, and so those are issues and priorities from different neighborhoods that are unique and should be addressed.
Yes, having a youth committee, that's going to be one of the committees that is going to be created. So before you guys leave, I'll give you my number, okay? Okay, and so what you had to say, ma'am? Yes, thank you for speaking up. And there are a lot of kids, a lot of great families out here, and it's the city's responsibility to take care of your neighborhood, to have more officers here, to slow people down, to put speed bumps, do what it to lock up the parking lot nightly, so people aren't having bonfires out here, so people aren't partying and just doing everything that happens out here. And plus you guys pay the highest property taxes in the whole city. You guys expect to get something in return, so yes, I am with all of you. Latasha, did you have a question?
I didn't have a question, but I've been around. I actually bought when they first built over here on Palermo, and it is a great area. But what I notice is that the city, the county, they like to react instead of being proactive. Okay?
Yes.
The other thing is we have a great tool. It's called social media. It's called our voice. That's what they react to. When you bust them out and say, hey, you're over this area, you're not doing something, look at this, then they will react. But it's about the money, and they're playing on, it's a saying that says you don't know until you know, right? Measure X, Measure Z, all those things. A lot of people in this community, even on the east, because this is the east side, think about that. How many people know what Measure X, Measure Z, any of those things are for? Okay, so when people don't know, the money can go towards elsewhere because they're not looking. They're not there saying, hey, where's that money? And we're paying the taxes for all these new things. We need to say, look at our tax bill. It didn't go down because you didn't do it. So where's the money? We have to hold them accountable. But it's not the letters. It's not going to work. I understand being the good boy, the good girl, and maybe it used to be a time that you could just have a meeting face to face and their word would be their word, but that's gone. It's over. So now you have to hold them to the fire. You have to, hey, we want this. Don't just go city, go county. They have a lot of the infrastructure. They have the same money that is being proportioned to the city to help out too. You got 2 buckets of money. Okay, and we all know they're gonna look to Las Palmas first, then they're gonna go south side, then they'll finally get over here because this is the east side. Okay, but think about it. You have restaurants, and luckily, thank God for DoorDash, but they won't even come this way. And this is a beautiful area. Look at the people. And they're too scared. For why? Because the city and the county did not put the money into this area to make it look like what it looks downtown. That's why. Because guess what? At night, things go down downtown. Okay? So they just made that. They made it look like something. They need to do that everywhere. They have the money. So that's all.
And thank you very much for your comments. Yes, at the end of the day, everything's about representation, and all of you have the power to vote in who you want to be your representative. You know, and when it's not working, then there's an issue. One thing on my platform is I'm going to be going out to every single district once a month. There's 12 months in the year, 6 districts. That means every district gets 2 town hall meetings, kind of like this. I'm not asking you to come to City Hall or to a church. In my opinion, this is beautiful. I brought it to the neighborhood, and just a simple canopy speaker, and I'm having conversation with people that live in this neighborhood. Jose.
Well, the biggest problem with the East Salinas is that it's not policed right out here. They don't have enough police officers to come out here, and I think a lot of the time, like when I made the video the other day, when there was people in the park, I sent it to everybody. You should have got a copy. I didn't get it. I'll send it to you again. I saw the cops come. I'm pulling up. I went around the park. They pulled in, and they left. People are still here, and I'm like, I felt like I kind of like used the bad word. I said, "Shit, cops didn't do shit." Sorry, I said that. Yeah. I said, "Shit," being human. And I got like, okay, so I sent it to Chief Murray. I sent it to City Council, public comment. Everybody got it. Everybody got it. And I'm going, why don't they just do their job? I think cops are scared, no disrespect. I think they're scared in this area. I don't see why. I mean, if you didn't grow up in East Salinas, you should be able to walk in the street. If you grew up out here, you got to know somebody. Everybody knows each other here. So you should not be scared to walk these streets. Especially if you grew up here, you should never have a problem walking these streets. You should know everybody. You should get along. You should say hi to everybody. That's what I do. Get along with everybody. Even if you don't like them, get along with them. Say hi to them. Show them a little bit of respect. Let them know that, hey, I live here too. You live here, I live here. We're going to make this work.
So the other day, an officer just did a drive-by and just took off.
I have the video.
Have you ever seen an officer park and walk the park?
Nope.
Never.
See, that's part of community policing right there.
The community service officers know we need to do this
No,
on a day.
they don't.
She blew me off one day.
I've had that happen to me.
I mean, she literally looked at me
They don't
and
care.
was just...
So did you get a card number, or did you?
Not at this
Next time that happens, you have my number. Give me a ring.
And I think that's where the apathy is, right? Like there's no trust in the system.
You got to build the trust.
We do what we're supposed to do. You
People
call
forget who's
911.
paying
You
their
call.
salary. That's what the problem is.
Right.
People forget who's paying their salary. And until we bring that to City Hall and do that right, when we get the numbers, they're going to realize
Yeah.
it's going to have to be done there.
They're not nervous.
I think that, we have good police officers.
I think so
would
too.
not knock our police department.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But get out and do your job.
The next time I'm out here, I will bring a police officer.
But I think that number one priority for the city is, my brother-in-law was a police officer too out of this area, but I'm just saying, when I saw, the one time when I saw we lost one to Hollister, we're like, really? We lost one to Hollister? How do you do that?
Right.
So I just saw a post this morning. Another one's going to San Jose. Granted, Santa Clara County, no doubt pays higher than anything. But something's inherently wrong here. If you're saying we have positions, we have money, something's wrong that they don't want to stay. I don't know what it is, but whatever they're doing, just like what they did with Murray, I think that's inherently wrong also. That's ridiculous to do that. So looking at that is going to be a huge key for a lot of the problems that, I get it. They can't be everywhere because we don't have enough of them.
27-year veteran, you're going to give a job to somebody coming out of a different county or city?
Wherever the guys
That's
from,
ridiculous.
they didn't even say.
That's just ridiculous.
Well, and I think it comes back to how are we holding our departments accountable for it? Where's the transparency? So I would be able to understand why you would pass a 27-year-old veteran if it was justified, right? If the explanation was given, if there's
give an
communication,
explanation, yes,
if there's
something.
communication.
No, we
there's
all filled out that survey, and the survey scores are high. I have a copy of
They
it.
even did it on
It's
TV.
ridiculous.
They even said all the survey
Why
stuff
did I get the job?
went to his accolades.
right.
That's politics within City Hall.
So I think at the city, sometimes they forget. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about customer service. Customer service has to be number one. I don't like when a gentleman comes up on a bike and he gets pretty angry about he almost got ran over. That's
on a bike with my dog.
He was walking his dog.
yeah, he was walking.
Twice a day.
Yes, that customer service. When neighborhoods come to you expressing that something is wrong, don't just ignore it. Let's get things done. Let's show some progress.
So we're working our third mayor now that we've had these issues with.
Third mayor?
Our third mayor now.
Mayor. Mayor.
I mean, I'm sorry.
And I'm going to be your fourth one.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Also, not only that, also our third city manager.
City manager.
Yeah.
So Jim Pia's been here, hasn't done nothing.
Mayor.
The guy before him,
Jim Pia's been here for 45 years.
well, he's been somewhere else but Monte.
He's never been out here?
Yeah,
He came out here for a meeting,
Yeah.
and that was it. Never did
But
anything.
something like this? No?
No,
No.
it was like 5 or 6 of us.
It was, me,
Mayor.
him, Kristen.
We've been asking for attention ever since.
You've been asking for what?
Attention. Ever since. We never got it. Please give it.
When elected mayor, you will be getting your attention. Yes, with results. Do you two gentlemen have any questions?
Need more speed signs.
You need more speed signs?
Yeah, the one in the back road, you need one right here. You need one
Yes.
right here too.
See?
There you go.
Not just the old people talking.
Not just the old people talking. How old are you, if I may ask?
14. 14.
14. What about you? 13.
I think next Tuesday we carpool to city council and bring all of them.
Yes.
I say we caravan over
Are you up for that? Going to city council?
and talk. Yeah.
The problem is they got
Bring
school
your-
right when time you guys get out. Because that starts at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Well, we need to change that too, Mayor. We need to change that to...
It's on the agenda. Yeah. I think I would be happy with maybe closed session first. Maybe starting at 4:30 with closed session for an hour. There you go. Start at 5:30, 5:45.
That would be,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can start your meeting. It just needs to be flipped. So
Yeah,
more people could show.
because if somebody's in a hurry or they have a date or they have a game to watch, well, maybe they shouldn't be serving on city council. I have no problem. Well, sometimes I don't want to miss my Raider game, but the city is more important. And customer service and service above South, that's number one. And I want to be all of your mayor, and November 5th.
Chris, we're good. If we vote you in, we're going to come look. We're knocking on
Well,
your door.
I can't hear this. It's a loud muffler.
We're
What was
knocking
that?
on your door.
I'm very big on transparency and accountability. So when I'm your mayor, I expect you to hold me accountable.
Yes.
Please hold me accountable, Jose.
I will.
Yep.
Oh, Chris is having that great meeting.
Hello. Any other questions?
Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I heard that you guys are complaining about the police. So,
No.
yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, I don't live actually in this neighborhood. I actually live, like, I live near Acosta Plaza. I don't know if anyone of you guys know where that is.
Yes.
But, like, I just wanted to say that, like, maybe, like, again, I don't know what you guys are talking about. But I heard you guys complain about, like, the police and, like, like, people not violating the rules. And I just wanted to feel, like, maybe, like, if you guys could do something about where I live because there's been a lot of vandalism and like a lot of people like don't really.
Because I've been a kid.
A lot of people don't really follow the rules over there. Like there's been a lot of people who do shooting at night and like it's not. I don't think it's safe because I live there,
Right.
and my family lives there.
And you would know, right? Yes. So Costa Plaza does need a lot of attention.
What district is that? Is that 3?
That is District 1. That's District 1.
So who's that? That's what's her name? The girl?
Carla Gonzalez.
That's Carla, and so she's not running for re-election. So
But you can vote Alex Ayala in. He's running for
Alex
this.
Ayala.
Where is he? We didn't come with you.
I'm here representing Alex.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is Alex's wife right here, Liz.
Oh, okay. I saw
Yeah.
the car. And I'm like,
She's very, very, very involved.
You didn't
And
talk to her.
yes.
Talk to her about the cost of
So Alex Ayala is very entrenched in the community, and he's all over the place. He's also a pretty funny guy with all of his videos and tripping over a bunch of potholes and sidewalks. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, And yes, ma'am.
I'm 17, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I was here like a little bit ago, and I sent my parents a picture about it. And they're like, oh, because I went home and they're like, oh, you were there. I'm like, yeah, I was. And then they're like, oh, go back and tell them about La Tiquetera, like the lady passing around the tickets like every morning.
the code enforcement lady.
Yeah, like about the streets and stuff.
oh, for
And they were saying because where I live, like down that way, she's always here, like maybe 2 or 3 times every day. She's here on the weekends, every single day.
Is it Shauna?
Huh?
Shauna, the girl
I don't
Shauna?
know. I don't know.
That's my girl, I know that distance.
So I'm just speaking for my parents, but we go like other places, and she's not there. Like there's no enforcement anywhere else but here.
Well, this area here, for some reason, brings a lot of revenue for the city. And I just hear people tell me, I just grabbed it down on my car. I parked that much in the driveway and blocking the sidewalk. I dropped something off and I got a ticket.
yeah, so we
Are you
have.
talking about
The parking service.
Yeah.
or the parking
Well,
enforcement?
there's parking enforcement on
Parking
Street
enforcement
Sweeper
don't
Day.
come here. That's that little that
Well,
other
that's
group.
that.
The white car with the yellow top.
Yes.
Are you talking about Laz?
Yeah, lots.
Can I add to what she said?
Yes, sir.
So that parking enforcement lady actually went to my street, and I told her, "There's that house, and it's blocking the whole sidewalk
In the corner.
She goes over there with her car, and she comes back to me and goes, "What?" I go, "It's right in front of you. What's that?" The car's blocking the. She doesn't know her job.
Well, the city's losing out on revenue.
I agree.
Because, okay, so this, and I know this happens in every school zone, but school started, so kids cannot, who would ride a bike when every parent is parked down that whole road? That road's narrow.
That's Freedom Parkway.
That's Freedom Parkway right there.
Is there parking on that?
No, it's no
there's
parking
no
at all.
parking. So there's no parking on either side of the street. There's a bike lane on
Yep.
both sides,
Yep.
and the street's
You
narrow.
can't even
And
see
it's
the
blocked.
Oh,
Well, you
Right
can kind of
there,
see it
huh?
right there. So that is parked on this side of the street coming
Yes.
down because the
No,
parents
it's
all
in
have
that
to park there. So we could be making, not just in Montebello, but all over the city. If they
And Chris,
had the
it happens on
parking.
Williams Road.
Oh, yeah.
When the kids got out of school.
Yeah.
My parents never picked me up from school. Are these kids just lazy or what? They can't walk a couple blocks?
I don't know if they even go in
What
the
is
same districts though.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the
are
other
they
thing I
busing kids in the wrong district? What's going on? I mean, I don't mind.
I don't have that answer. As far as the parking enforcement and Laz, that used to be with the police department, more revenue for the police department.
What happened?
But then something happened that had them contracted out to Laz, and I had a not so nice experience with one of the Laz drivers where he gave me the bird, and so I was like, wow. That's who's out there patrolling the city. In my opinion, it should go back to the police department to create more revenue. And did you know also people that get cited or ticketed or complained on when code enforcement comes out, and anybody going out to enforce anything, usually that is complaint driven. If there's nobody complaining, a lot of the times they don't come out. You used to see over in Santa Rita, every single corner has a car on the corner, a car up on the sidewalk, a car in front of fire hydrants. I mean, that's like a feast, for here too.
Right here, right where they do the soccer.
That
side of the park and all this here, they'll block all the fire hydrants all the way down. I have pictures and everything, video, everything.
So do you ever do Salinas Connect?
I do it all the time. I've called it one time that I've called, they've came and gave like 4 or 5 tickets.
See, it should be round the clock.
I told it every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
Just on Sundays?
That's the only time we have problems on Sundays.
Okay.
Because Saturdays they have it through the front of the school. And also elementary will open up the front. They'll have the soccer team.
Right.
They should be doing that with these other.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I don't want to.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done, and as your mayor, I will be making sure that there's an improvement. Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that I was trying to talk to your friend Barrera.
I can't hear it. Have you seen how fast we're going?
Barrera? Yeah. Barrera is your relative?
No.
Tony Barrera's your cousin?
Tony Barrera.
We're not related. A lot of people are getting confused.
Okay.
He was great friends with my dad. I'm pretty good friends with him, but we're not related.
Okay.
Mayor, you've just experienced somebody going that fast.
Yeah. So no, and they just keep going because they know.
And the park's closed.
Yes, they just.
The park's closed, by the way.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing. So Barrera, he's pretty good listening some points, I guess, when he can. But one thing that I was asking him to look, and I couldn't do it, is they were fixing the road Williams and around Williams on Boronda, all the way to a little past where you go into what is Sambor? Anyways, they just fixed it this year. I haven't had the time to walk because you need to be early, so there's not much traffic. They never block or they never covered the little holes. They just went. So it haven't been rain since they did. They did probably about 6-8 months ago, after the rain. And did you see how? I'm like, who's charging for this work and doing this ridiculous work? So I talked to him and he was asking me for pictures. I feel like I will get killed if I try, but I said, do you mind just driving yourself? He says he doesn't live that far. I don't think he's ever done. So please, do you mind just see how a new job on the road, how terrible and ugly it is. Just around Williams, before going around in Boronda, it's a new job there. It's a new cement or fix or whatever.
Well, Boronda's going to be getting widened to 4 lanes, some roundabouts. That's a work in progress. They just did Independence, and that cost $3.5 million. Anthony Roach was able to get that done. So with the 7,000 or 8,000 new homes, they're going to be widening Boronda. But you have my phone number. Whenever you need anything, you call me.
Yes. Okay. So one thing that I would suggest also about the speed. No, I have it. Thank you. One thing that I would suggest about the speed. Why they don't have speed cameras on the road?
I agree.
You don't spend money, police. You save the police for crimes.
Yep.
And you get the ticket at home.
Yep.
Correct.
I agree.
And if I get a ticket, I don't mind. I want to learn if I haven't learned. But I would love this city to have speed tickets on the road.
I always wondered, do you know when you're at an intersection, those cameras that go off if you run the red light? I'm wondering.
No, they don't work.
Well, a couple of people that I know have gotten tickets in the mail, but I'm wondering if you can attach a speedometer to that. If you're going over a certain speed, then you'd get sent a ticket.
You can just put it, those other ones are not like in the lights because people stop, remember, for the red and green. So I think the best way is on like on any poles like this one, electric poles. That's what a lot of cities in Mexico do.
Yeah,
So
Guadalajara.
no on the corners of the lights. No. Because I know
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I know here in Boronda Natividad they have the camera in Maine. No, what is Laurel?
Maine and Laurel.
Laurel, yeah, and Laurel and yeah. No, those we know
Laurel
because
and
those they were posted on the news. So there is like 4 to 6 in the city. So we take care of those corners. But no on the roads. There is a cameras and you just get the ticket. I don't think it's so expensive because the camera is gonna pay by itself once they start getting tickets.
Yeah.
And believe me, people get tickets like that. In Mexico, almost all my family got tickets before they learned.
And that's another revenue source right there.
Exactly.
Those are revenue.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna get tickets, I don't mind. So that way I learn.
And maybe we can have one right here on Monte Bay.
Montebello,
So people down.
No, it's Comfort,
A couple.
Freedom.
Scomberg.
Yeah, all these
Freedom,
roads.
Scarborough,
Yeah.
right here.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes?
The other thing about that, because they do have a lot of cities that use that, but if you fight that in court, they're losing a lot because if you can't prove it was me in the car, you know what I mean? So they're having problems with actually addressing people, like sending the tickets in the mail, because I can say that wasn't me. You know, like they're having issues with the fireworks and how they use the drones, and now they've sent out these big bills and ask them how many people paid those bills. You know, so it's the same thing, but they do need something, and I think around here the best we can probably do is the speed bumps. At least that'll stop them, you know, slow them down. You know, they put them everywhere else.
Well, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen.
I have big freeways.
Mhm.
I think on the left line, they call it something else. It's not a speed line. or
No,
the-
it's just a traffic light. It's a
Yeah.
traffic
So if you
speedometer.
drive, you get ticketed by San Francisco. And there's a big city. That's a big city on the freeway. But I would say in this city, just on the streets, on the roads, just have the speed camera.
Okay. And thank you for sharing that.
You have another question here?
The gentleman over there had a question.
No.
The teacher had a question.
I'm loud enough. So, my three things.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
You have a gentleman with a question right here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My three things have always come down to respect, accountability, and attention to detail. If you take care of those three things, and you hold yourself accountable, you hold your neighbor. A lot of these things that we're talking about really comes down to us being neighbors, good neighbors, and taking care of each other. If you're, disrespecting our street and all that, it's like, hey man, come on, like let's hold each other accountable.
That begins at
A lot of this stuff starts at home. Just like I was speaking to the young kids right here. It's like, hey, if you guys are not cutting off traffic as a cyclist, maybe you'll have a little bit more respect. We're not throwing the finger at people and stuff like that. Then we'll take care of each other like that. Respect the road, respect the rules of the road, and we'll be all good. What I love is that we have all this green space. People love coming out here. Look how many people are walking out with their dogs and all that.
It's always busy.
But we also got to take care of our stuff too. A lot of there's feces on the road. Tons of it. Our dogs are smelling it. We don't know what kind of feces that is, And trash. We have neighbors that walk around with trash bags, and they're over there picking up for each other. We got to take care of our community.
Yeah.
That's accountability within ourselves. The respect each other's neighbors, respect each other's properties, take care of each other. Attention to the detail, though. That comes down to cities too. You have this green space for a long time. This was yellow, brown and yellow. Nobody really took accountability for all that. And we gotta upkeep the whole thing. Like our committee, we have to upkeep within ourselves too. Okay, but city, we need to have that backing where the accountability, respect, and attention to detail is enforced and implemented daily. If we do that as a committee, things can start rolling and changing. So
I completely agree with everything you just said. Any other questions? It's getting a little dark now.
No, let's go.
All right. Well, thank you very much for. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to hear, because we've been asking a lot of questions, and I wasn't here in the beginning, so I just wanted to hear, what you're gonna do for the city.
Oh. I'm going to be a representative of Monte, of the whole city. A couple things on my platform are public safety, infrastructure, that's streets, sidewalks, and potholes, the homeless issue, transparency and accountability. And we need a lot of work to be done at the city level. And we also need to make sure that we're all public servants, and number one should be customer service and not ignoring the residents. So that's a little bit about me and what I represent. But thank you for your question, and thank you for coming back. All right. Well, yes, I'm running for mayor, and I'm going against the establishment, the status quo. My campaign is grassroots. I represent the community, neighborhoods, investing in all neighborhoods, and not just a certain part of the city. So please vote for me come November 5th. All right?
Okay, no, I didn't
Or sooner.
hear what time
Thank you.
I was just walking, and normally I don't walk this late.
Well, you're here for a reason then.
Yeah, I guess.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, because I never walk